Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my garage. Today I'm going to be bringing you guys along with me as I transform this display cabinet. I picked this guy up from Facebook Marketplace for $150 and thought that it just had so much potential. I love the shape of it, and then it's pretty simple, so I wanted to make too many changes to it, but I think that it has really good bones and can become a total dupe for one of these more high-end display cabinets like this one that Mickey & Co sells. This is a really beautiful one, so we're going to kind of use that as our inspiration for this display cabinet. So I'm just going to be bringing you guys along with me. So if you're new here, welcome. I'm Noelle. I make new videos like this every single week, sharing with you guys how to get a high-end looking home on a budget, and flipping furniture pieces like this is a great way to do that. So if you're interested, definitely consider subscribing, and don't forget to turn on your notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my upcoming videos. So let's go ahead and start tackling this thing. Before we get started, I wanted to give a huge thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video today. They are an online learning community and offer thousands of classes teaching you all kinds of things from photography to illustration, interior design, or art. You can find classes that will match your goals and interests. This Interior Decorate Like a Boss course by Rose Sprinkle has been especially helpful in planning for this new house. Rose helps you to evaluate your space, teaches you basic design principles like scale, balance, and variation, and even how to create a floor plan based on your measurements for your own space. And Skillshare is actually offering a 1-month free trial to the first 1,000 people who sign up using my code or the link in my description box below. So make sure that you guys go and check that out. You will not regret it. I have been a huge fan of Skillshare and know that you guys will be too. So the first thing that I wanted to tackle are these locks on here, because I really want to be able to put some pretty hardware on here. So we're going to take these off and see what we're working with. Okay. Got out the lock part. Now we still have this bolt part around the middle. So let's get that guy off. So now we are just left with big holes in both of the cabinets. So I'm going to look and see if I can find some kind of hardware that has like one of those back plates on it so that we can kind of cover this up and make it work. And if not, I'll figure something else out. So let's move on to cleaning up the lines of the whole piece. So before I do that, actually, I'm going to take out this piece up here. They like made a hole in the back of this cabinet for a light bulb thing to be able to come through the back. So I'm going to take that out and then see how we can maybe repair that. We may just end up replacing this whole back panel. So I'm going to get that out now so that I can maneuver it a little bit easier and not have to worry about dragging around the cord. There it goes. So my inspiration picture and cabinet does not have the crown at the top. It's just like nice and flush all the way. So I wanted to see if it looked like we could remove that, and I think we can. So I think I'm just gonna whack at it and see if it'll just pop on off and come off nice and clean. Let's try it out. Budging. Okay. So let's keep going. So it's the next day and it's looking so much better with that trim piece off the top of it. And I spent last night brainstorming what materials I needed to get the look that I want for this cabinet. So since it has this busted back, or it's not really busted, they just drilled a hole into the back of it. So I want to be able to salvage that, so I'm actually about to take that piece off and cut it down, and then we'll put it and use it for the sides, because we're going to take the glass out of the sides since I want it to be more enclosed. And then we'll do something for the shelves on the inside. So let's go ahead and get this thing off the back. So we got the back out, and now we need to cut out a piece to fit in these side panels here. So right now it's this glass, so I'm actually just going to take out this glass panel and use it as a template for the plywood insert to go right here. So I'm going to take that out and then go ahead and trace it out. Since there's parts of the boards that I don't want to use, like the holes from where the back was stapled on, and obviously the hole in the center, it was really important for me to be able to place where I wanted the panels to be at. And then on I also went to Home Depot, so tracing it out was a really great option, and got them to cut me down this piece of plywood, which will be the back. So now I need to get that sanded down so that it absorbs the stain a little bit better, and then hopefully matches these pieces a little bit closer in color, and then we can install them once they're stained. So I realized that I have a little bit more work to do on the inside of this cabinet, this top of it and then the bottom, and then some of these little inside pieces still have the old stain on it. So I'm just going to go in with a little bit of stripper and clean it up really quickly so that it doesn't have that old dark stain on it and it matches the interior. So I got all of the cabinet pieces ready to go to be stained, the sides and the back panel, and all the pieces that are going to be showing on the inside. So now I'm going to go ahead and start staining. And I didn't sand down the actual outside of the cabinet because I'm using this gel stain, and it can be used on wood, metal, fiberglass, and more. So basically, you don't have to sand down whatever you're staining over. So I'm going to try this out and see how it works on here. So let's get these doors off. Okay, maybe we're not going to take this door off because the screw won't turn and I don't want to strip it. So I think I'm just going to leave it on and maybe tape around the hinge and use like an artist brush to get in the cracks because it's not budging. So I'm going to put the screws back in. I am going to go ahead and remove the glass so we don't get any of the black stain on the glass. So this is the product I'm using. It's the Minwax Gel Stain in black, and like I said, it says you can use it on all kinds of different finishes. So I'm just gonna see how this goes. Give it a good stir and start applying it. You guys, this is so thick. Like, it's like, oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to really give this a stir to incorporate it. So I just finished putting on the first coat of the stain, and you can see it's a little bit transparent, so it definitely needs another coat, and it's really shiny. So I think I'm probably going to, let me see if you can see, it's like really shiny, so I'm probably gonna put like a clear matte top coat over it so that it gets a more matte finish. But yeah, one more coat of this and it should be really solid. The first coat of stain is dry and it's looking very good, so I'm gonna go and do coat number 2. Okay guys, so I got the side panels all nice and stained. So I actually just got back from Home Depot and I had them cut down a 3/4 inch plywood board for me into like roughly the size that I need for the shelves. So I'm just gonna go ahead now and cut them down to exactly the size that I need, and then we'll get them nice and sanded. It is a little bit rainy outside today, so while we wait for that to go away so that I can finish sanding down the shelves and prepping all of those to go in, I'm going to test out some stains for the interior of the cabinet, for the shelves, and the side panels in the back. So let's try those out and see which one we like. So I've got Early American, Honey, and Special Walnut. So I really want something that's going to add some warmth and depth to the inside of the cabinet. So I've got my stains, and I'm just going to try them out inside of here so I can kind of see how they're going to work with the black stain. And I think it's pulling up a little darker on camera than what they actually are. So this one's the Special Walnut, Honey, and Early American. The Early American feels very, almost like yellowy orangey, and I'm not a fan of that. I like Special Walnut. Before we start staining the inside of the cabinet, I want to go ahead and get this outside part finished off. So since it's this really glossy look right now, I'm actually going to go in with this polyacrylic top coat in a clear matte finish. So that's gonna take away that shine and give it a more matte look, and I'm just gonna put it on with a paintbrush all over, and yeah, we'll see how big of a difference it makes. So you can see on this one I applied the matte, and then on this one I haven't done the clear coat yet, so it definitely still has sheen to it, but it's not as glossy as this side. So I got all of these shelves sanded down, so now I'm going to go in with this edge banding, and I have never used this before, so I'm really interested to see how this is going to work. You just use an iron to attach it to the edge, like this part, and it'll make it look really finished, so you won't even notice that it's plywood. Okay. So after the edge banding dries, you're supposed to go along the edge with either like a special tool that they make for edge banding to trim it down, or you can just use an X-Acto knife. So that's what I'm going to do. And then just trim off this excess because it hangs over the plywood shelf just a little bit. So I'm just going to go through and trim this up and then give it a good sand. I got all my edge banding pieces done, so now I'm going to go ahead and start applying some pre-stain to all of those pieces, as well as the back piece and the side pieces. Okay, I'm going to go in with Special Walnut. and do the backboard so we can get it on the back of the cabinet. I've got everything stained, you guys, back there. So I'm gonna start putting it together and we're really gonna see this cabinet come to life. So I'm gonna start with the side panels first and then the back and the shelves and all the good stuff. So I'm actually just gonna use these same little brackets that held in the glass to hold in this wooden side panel. So I'm just gonna slip it in and put all those back in. Coming together, and next I got some pulls to cover these holes. So this is where the lock was in the cabinet, so it left like a really big hole. But I found these knobs and they have a back plate on them and it just barely covers it. So I think it's gonna look really nice and you're not even gonna know that a hole's there. So I can't just use a normal screw because there's, again, this big hole in the back here. So I put some washers together and we're gonna cover the hole with the washers so that the screw will fit. But the problem that I'm having is that the screw is now not long enough. So I need to go and get a longer screw so that it will be able to fit past all of these washers and have enough thread to thread into this cute little knob. So I'm gonna run to the hardware store and go grab some longer screws. So I just got back from the store and I actually found a washer that was thin enough and had a small enough hole for the screw to fit through. So I didn't need the longer screws that I bought. So now it fits and has enough thread to go through this side. We're getting so close to being done with this cabinet. All I have left to do is clean and install the glass. So the glass actually had stain on it from where the previous owners had like stained without taking the glass out. So I'm just gonna go in with some more stripper and strip all of that off so that we can have some nice clean glass to install. Now that I've got the glass in, I can go ahead and add all of the pretty little styling details and really make this cabinet shine. You guys, the cabinet is ready and styled and beautiful and I cannot wait to share it with you guys. So I'm gonna reveal the cabinet to you guys in 3, 2, 1. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this cabinet makeover. I haven't done a video like this in a while, so I had so much fun redoing this and making something old, new, and stylish again. So if you guys liked it too, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up and definitely consider subscribing to my channel so you guys don't miss out on any of my upcoming content. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!